Hey Leo. Well, your same as the Fool. I like that. The Fool is a very nice, pleasant card. It's footloose, fancy free. It's new beginnings. It's the beginning of a major cycle with the major arcana. So I could say that this is a new beginning with your partner, but more than likely, this goes two ways. So very 50-50 to have this card as the theme of the month because, like I said, this is it's a new beginning. So it's either a new beginning between you and this person, or it's cutting them off and having a new beginning on your own. We'll see what the rest of the read says. But the Fool, like I said, is the very first card in the new cycle of the major arcana, meaning a new cycle is starting. All right, the next card you have is your current position coming into the month. So you're still bearing the burden of whatever happened between you and your partner. The Ten of Wands is a responsibility, something weighing you heavily. It's, you know, the monkey on your back. It's the, so I feel it's not very emotional though, okay? It's also a completion card. So either you've said goodbye and you're done, although I don't necessarily think you'd be watching if that was the case, or you feel like that's what they've done and you're not done, you're not ready for the cycle to be done, and you feel like maybe they are, that they've completed, they're done, and you're kind of like, really? I still feel a little burdened by what happened between us. I still feel like I have unanswered questions. I still feel like, you know, we were good together. And so it feels like you're unclear as to where you really stand with this person. And I feel like it might go vice versa. I feel like for some of you, Leos, your partner's thinking the same thing, or your ex is thinking the same thing. Like, well, where are we going from here? I still think about you. You're still on my mind. I still care about you. I still have feelings for you. But this isn't so much emotional. This is also could be like kids, or you have a house together and you're trying to get rid of that. Something that's tying you to this person or them to you that isn't very emotionally inspired. It's more of a responsibility. So maybe you're trying to start this new cycle. You want to get out and get over this, and either they're not letting you because they're continuing to communicate with you, or again, there's something you guys have conjoined that unfortunately you have to be together. Some of you work together or see each other at work or near work, something along those lines, and so you're not able to fully let this go. And there is still a connection here, but I feel like it's kind of run its course at this point. All right, the next card you have is how you're feeling coming into this. So yeah, this makes sense. Whatever's binding you here is it's almost strange, Leo. I feel like some of you are letting this bind you because it's like the only thing you guys have left together. And so you're not ending it. Because this is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is self-imprisonment. It's self-doubt. It's like I always say when I see this card, she could walk out the front door, get out of the window, you're not tipping over, and walk out the front door. But instead she's hanging herself over the swords like there's no other choice. And that's not the case. So for some of you, I feel like, you know, you're holding on to this burden or responsibility or whatever's connecting you instead of letting it go completely, maybe because it's like if you finally do that, then it's cut off, like it's ended completely and it's done. This also tells me too that some of you are not like dating or anything like that, or moving on because you're feeling like this is the person you thought you were supposed to be with, and so therefore, you know, I can't move on. I'm imprisoning myself in this because this was the person I thought I was going to marry and be with, but there is some sort of sense here of like neither one of you are letting each other move on because you do care, and some of it's like codependent. It's almost like you feel like you need them or they feel like they need you, when in reality, if you guys moved on, you could have this new beginning. All right, let's see what else is going on here. The next card you have is your distant past, over the past 5-10 years. Could be throughout childhood, and you have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a very hardworking, very diligent person. So this kind of tells me that some of you in past relationships, or it could pertain to this one, a lot of times it's more distant past, but I have a feeling for some of you it pertains to this one as well. This is almost like you guys became more of like roommates. You guys became more, the passion was lost. This is more about like, we have responsibilities and we have to take care of the kids, and we have to, the car needs a new battery and all of these things. Like that's what your conversation was, like picking out patio furniture, or because this is very cautious, hardworking, very dutiful, methodical. It's like you guys were staying together, or in the past in other relationships, you stayed together because that was your responsibility, not because the passion was still there, not because it became more of a, you know, work-life balance, but then like the relationship almost became like a job too. Again, like I said, it was more about, hey, the car needs a tune-up, or this, that, or the other, instead of I love you, and which is hard because Leos are very passionate, very enthusiastic people who offer a lot of love and compassion. But it feels like you've been in situations that's not working, and you're just kind of like, you know, you thought you had it with this person, and now it feels like it's like the past repeating itself. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past month or so, and you have the Three of Wands. Now this person has been showing up all over the place, or this card has been showing up, like, I'm not kidding you, probably every read or every other read. It's the Three of Wands. So love is definitely on people's minds right now, whether it's reconciliation or single, because, and I think they have something to do with it, because come on, it's hard not to see it, especially how commercialized it is, which then makes people reminisce about things that they want. But the Three of Wands is, it's about a partnership, it's about a teamwork, it's about a growth, but it's about looking forward and planning goals with somebody else. So this is like the past few weeks, past month or so, you're like, wait a minute, you know, we had a life together and I thought this is where we're going. And now that we're not, I have to rethink this. Or now that we're not in contact, you know, this is a partnership card. Again, it's planning. Like, I feel like some of you are like, we had family vacations planned, or we had trips planned, or we had things we were getting ready to move in, or we thought about having kids, or we thought about getting married, whatever it is to you. And you've been thinking about these the past month or two, and you still want those you know, life choices. But you're sitting here going, are we going to move on to this and do it together, or are we not? And I'm moving on by myself to start a new cycle. And again, I feel like some of this pertains to that, because this is like, maybe you did live together and now you're in limbo, or maybe, you know, you were planning an engagement and now the engagement's off and you're like, what are we doing here? We need to figure it out, because either we're staying or we're going, or we're getting back together or we're not. The next card you have, I feel like there's more. It's not just like a breakup that was like, oh, well, we were together for like 3 months. Now we broke up. Are we going to see each other? It was like a lot more invested here. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next month or two, and you have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a defense. So I feel like one of you is very defensive. One of you is like, we need to make this work. We love each other, this, that, and the other. And the other person is kind of like, but you treated me badly, or, you know, the situation's not working for me anymore. It's very weird, because I feel like one of you is, one of you still has like these strong feelings, like we can make this happen. And then the other one is kind of like, you know, I thought we were going in one direction and we're not going in that. Like, somebody changed their mind, or somebody thought they were going to be ready to move in or get married or have kids. Like, you had all these plans and now somebody's tripping, because the Seven of Wands is a defense, but it's also a strategy. It's like getting your priorities in order. So I feel like you are kind of going, what the fuck are we doing? We were headed in one direction, and then either they ghosted you, or they treated you badly, or they were like, oh, I can't do this, or I changed my mind, or I need some space. And you're sitting here going, hello, could you clue me in? Because we have all these things, we were doing these responsibilities, things that like are burdening me now, because you can't make up your mind, or you don't know what it is, what you want, or you owe me an apology and you're not saying anything. So I'm stuck in limbo waiting to see what's going on. And you have a lot of wand cards, so you may be dealing with another fire energy, a Leo, Sag, or Aries. But there's definitely, you know, some sort of, you're trying to figure out your priorities and you're tired of waiting. It feels now like, you know, I love you, but this is like a game at this point, or this is a joke. I've been waiting around to see what we're going to do. And I'm not, it's like you're not getting any answers, and they're either not communicating with you, or they're just so in limbo. And it's like you may end up being the one who just makes the decision that you're done, because they're not showing you or giving you what you need to feel like you could continue in this relationship. The next card you have is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a legacy, it's a wealth, it's an excess. So this, again, this is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks, this is you kind of going, where are we in this game of life? Like, you know, I'm waiting for you to make a move and you're not making a move. So again, I keep getting this terrible, like, stuck in limbo. Like, you're tied down to this person, or you're connected with this person because of certain things. And now you're like, what is the plan? Hello, clue me in, or I'm cutting you off and going my fancy, footloose, fancy free way, because I don't have time for this anymore. I've waited. I've been patient. You've had your moments, whatever it is. We had these plans. We had this legacy. We were building something together. I thought it was important to both of us. And now you're screwing me off. You're screwing around, or you're, you know, screwing things up. A lot of just, this person that you're dealing with, I feel like they just, like, they don't know what way is that? And it's like they're drowning in their own insecurities, all the while you're sitting here going, I've carried the weight of this relationship for so long, and we discuss doing these things in the future, and you keep, you keep slowing your feet on, you're slowing your roll on everything we talked about we're doing, and I need to progress in my life, with or without you. Like, it's coming down to where you're like, then fine, I'll do it all by myself. The next card you have is something that's going to happen in the month. Could be the beginning, middle, end. It could last for a day, could last for 20 minutes. And you have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is some sort of loss. It's some sort of feeling of destitute. And I feel like that makes kind of a lot of sense here, Leo, because I feel like that's been kind of a continued theme with you. Like, you're just like, one minute you're like, okay, we might work on this, we might make this happen. And the next minute you're like, okay, never mind. Apparently it's not. It may also have to do with some sort of financial loss. Maybe there is a divorce pending, or maybe there is a house or something that you guys are separating. And I feel like neither one of you are really wanting it to happen necessarily. One of you more so than the other, but I feel like, again, there's like this energy on somebody's part of just like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. Like, somebody is literally stuck. But the Five of Pentacles also tells me somebody's watching. So like, if you've ghosted this person, or you're not talking to them because they can't get their shit together, they don't know what they want and you're tired of it, or vice versa, or whatever. I mean, somebody's watching the other person. There's definitely somebody who's paying attention to, the other person very closely. And it may just be you, because you're like, hello, maybe you guys are having communication and you're in contact, but the context is very little. You don't know where you're going, what's going on, because I feel like some of you are forced to like wait for this person to make a decision, because there's stronger ties at work here that bind you. There's definitely something very heavy here, Leo, that you can't seem to break free from. And in all honesty, it feels like you kind of want to. Like, I'm not seeing any romance or passion or love, or these are all like very prioritizing cards. These are all very responsibility-based cards. The next card you have is how you're feeling internally. And this, could again be throughout the month, be in the beginning, middle, end, last for a day. All these priority cards, priorities. Like, you could literally look up definitions and find priorities under these cards. The Five of Wands is priorities. It's about chaos, but it's about opportunities, like a lot of things coming in and out. So I feel like this suits exactly what I'm talking about. The Five of Wands, and you have all this wand energy. So again, you might be dealing with another fire sign, but the Five of Wands is like chaotic. It's and this is how you're feeling. It's like not knowing what's going on. One minute we're getting back together, the next minute we're not. The next minute we are, the next minute we're not. And it's almost like you're in competition, not for this person's time or attention. It's almost like you're competing with what they have. Like, they're trying to make decisions in their life, and you're like, hey, wait a minute. We had a life once. We were together once. We had all these things together. You need to make this a priority, because you feel like you're competing with the bullshit in their life. Like, you're competing with either they were adulterous, and now you're like, are you with this person or are you not? Because I'm not doing a third party situation. I'm not waiting for you to figure out what the fuck you want anymore. You need to give me some answers. I need to know about this. Now, what's interesting on the flip side is, I feel like, Leo, there may be somebody interested in you. Either you know it or you don't know it, but somebody's got their eye on you, because this is almost saying, hey, look, if this ex of yours doesn't straighten up and fly right and figure out what the hell is going on here, somebody else is gunning for you. Somebody else would compete for you gladly to start dating you. The next card you have is your hopes and fears. So your hopes are the Page of Cups, which is innocence, childlike, emotion. You need to see some emotion from this person. You need to see that passion, that energy again, because it's lost. It's lost in limbo. It's lost in money and work and all the things that you guys let take over this relationship and end the passion. And again, there could have been infidelity. There could have been so many different things. And your hope is like, can we get this back? Can we start over? Can we get these emotions back? Because the Page of Cups represents like a child seeing something for the very first time and getting overwhelmed and excited, and all those sensories that intrigue us about each other and intrigue us about other things. So you're definitely hopeful that, like, hey, if we could get the passion in, we can make the rest of this happen. But when did it come to this where now it's like a business decision? The next card you have is your outcome. The outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm going to be completely honest with you, Leo. I feel like there's more opportunities elsewhere. Cross watchers, you can be as mad as you want about that as you want. But look, the theme of the month is the Fool. It's a new cycle, new beginning. Then you get the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles are new opportunities, new. This isn't old opportunities. This is new opportunities. This person doesn't care enough to get off their butt and make some decisions and make things happen and bring the passion in. Well, guess what? They're up for competition with that Five of Wands. They're up for other people wanting you. They're up for you wanting some sort of passion, wanting some sort of compassion, wanting somebody to be attentive to your needs. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles as your outcome, which again is new beginnings and it's opportunities and potential, big time potential and opportunities. So you know what? Cut this burden loose. If this is a burden and this is the monkey on your back and you are like done and over trying to figure out what the hell they want and what's going to make them happy, and I thought we were moving to XYZ position in our relationship and apparently we're not, then you know what? There is opportunity knocking. There are going to be people competing for your attention, plethora of opportunities for new suitors, and a whole new cycle with somebody else. I hate to say that, Leo. I know a lot of you don't want to hear that. You want to hear that it's all hunky-dory. I don't see this person being, I don't see this person being up to the task. I just don't see them being, the cards just falling out on the floor. I just don't see them being putting the effort into it anymore. They're just not. It's like they gave up. They love you. They absolutely love you. But they gave up. And they gave up on themselves. And when you give up on yourself, how can you be there for somebody else if you can't even be there for yourself? And it's sad. And it's, you know, it feels lonely for them. But, I mean, I feel like you've done all you can, Leo, besides, you know, telling them exactly what they have to do, like mothering or fathering them. You don't want to do that. All right, so your clarifying card for this is the Empress, which I love. This is nurturing. It's motherly. It's Mother Nature. It's sensuality. That's exactly what you're going to get. You cut out this other energy, this is what you get. You're left with the Empress, who is passionate and feels a lust for life and many different things that this person, you know, wants to present. And you need this. It's like your fire is burning out, Leo, and you need somebody who wants to, you know, somebody who wants to, like, make your embers inflame again. Somebody who brings out the light in you. Somebody who makes you feel giddy and smile again. It feels like, Leo, it's been a while since you've genuinely smiled with another person in your life, a partner or a relationship. And I feel like you deserve it. I feel like you need it. I feel like you thrive when you have somebody who's as passionate for other people as you are. Now, your distant future clarification is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is dutiful. It's cautious, hardworking. It's somebody who, and you have that Knight of Pentacles here. So it's very interesting to me because I feel like this is exactly what you're going to get with your ex. It's going to be the same thing. It would just be, that's what it's like a work vibe. It's a, you know, paying attention to the bottom dollar. It's more, it's not passionate. Not that the Knight of Pentacles can't be, but it's almost like your ex-partner's like incapable of, even like when the tough gets going, like when you know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's kind of what I feel like. Like when you get passionate about it and you say, this is what I feel and this is how I feel and this is what I need from you. Like they close off. And it's like, well, I'm a good partner and I bring to the table and so I think that's what you're going to continue to get if you stick it out with this person. Now, your choice, things change and whatnot. You know, this is only a reading. But then you have the Chariot. And that tells me you are looking for somebody who's moving in your same direction. Now, this is Cancer's card, so you could be dealing with Cancer or meeting a Cancer, but I feel like you may end up going in a different direction, Leo, because I feel like this is what you need. You need somebody who's heading in the same direction as you, somebody who wants the same things, not all the time, because that's boring if we all are exactly alike, but this is self-identity. This is realizing what I need out of a relationship and what I am willing to sacrifice. And you're not willing to sacrifice the passion anymore. You're not willing to have this be more of like a business deal than a relationship. So I think, Leo, yes, I think you could get back together. I think they would take you back. I think you would take them back. But I question how happy you would be in it because I don't see things changing. I feel like there's new opportunities out there for you. And if you're really looking for what's been missing, I think you're going to find it with somebody else.